Hey, if you're rated 1800 or less, I'm going to share with you what I believe is the hands down best openings chess book that you can buy. And I know as soon as I said that, some people watching this video just thought to themselves,
"But Nelson, why do I need to buy a book when I can get everything online for free?"
well, I'm glad you asked. There are actually several reasons, and I'm going to talk about them right now. All right, so first of all, the book that I recommend is called FCO. It's Fundamental Chess Openings. I'm going to hold it up here in front of the camera if I can. There you go. FCO, Fundamental Chess Openings. I'll post a link to that in the description below, so don't worry about that. But there's a couple of reasons why I like this book better than an online database like what I'm looking at on the screen. So let me start by explaining what this book has that you can't get online for free, because I know most people think that you don't need books anymore. You can just find everything online. So let me explain why that's not true. Okay, so what I'm looking at on the screen right now is what's called like an opening explorer. And this is on chess.com. They have something similar on Lead Chess. But basically it's got all these different openings and you can kind of just click on one to get more information about them. So I'm going to go to one that actually I was looking at the other day, the Alekhines defense. So e4 knight f6. Now this is not an opening that I'm very familiar with. I don't play it as black and most people don't play it against me. And so I don't have a lot of experience with it. So I'm going to click on it. And the first thing you'll notice is it pops up this little, blurb over here. It's not long. It's a couple of sentences, some pros and cons. That's all the information that you're going to get about the Alekhines defense. Now, if I click on over here, you can't see it just yet, but now you can see the first move. And now I can see these moves here, right? Knight d5, knight g8, knight e4. And you can see knight d5 is by far the most common move, played 23,000 times. And I can click on that, and it moves it for me. And again, I can see the most common move played is d4, and then we have d6. And I can keep going and figure out what the main line in the Alekhines defense is just by clicking ahead. Now, that's great. The problem is if you're new to the Alekhines defense and you've never played this before, how do you know if that's the move that you want to play? Like, what if you want to play the c4 line? Or what if you want to play bishop c4 or e takes c6 or f4? Why would you choose one move over another move? How are you going to know that just from looking at this? I mean, you can look at the percentages over here and see like which one has a higher win percentage for white, but most of the time they're going to be pretty equal. And that's not really a good way to think about it if you're like a beginner and starting out and trying to learn about openings. Now, you could try to Google the opening and like find some YouTube video or some article where somebody talked about it, but then you have to kind of go searching around, and depending on which opening you're looking for, you may or may not find a good explanation, right? So this is where FCO is very different. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up here, and I'm going to flip to the Alekhines defense section. So, and I'll try to show this on the camera. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but here's the section on the Alekhines defense. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it there. And maybe I'll just post like some pictures on the side here or something. But I'm looking at it and it gives me several paragraphs kind of explaining what the Alekhines defense is all about. And then if I flip ahead, it talks about the 4 pawns attack, which is one of the variations. That's not the main line, but it is a variation that you can play as white. And it talks about kind of like the idea behind it. Like, why would I want to play that? What would I need to look out for? And then it talks about the exchange variation and the modern variation. And so when I read through this, it took me about 10 or 15 minutes, and I got a really good idea of all those different variations and why I might want to play one over the other. Now, 10 to 15 minutes is pretty fast. I've been reading chess books pretty much my whole life. So if you're new, it'll probably take you a little longer. But the point is, it's concise enough that it doesn't overwhelm you, but it's detailed enough that you get a lot more information than what I'm looking at on the screen right now, right? Like if I go back, the c4 line, so c4, knight b6, c5 is kind of one of the weird lines. Why would I want to play that? Like, what's the point here? Well, just looking at this, I have no idea, right? But if I go in here, I can kind of read about it and get a little bit more information. And so that's what I really like about FCO, the fundamental chess openings, as opposed to these kind of online opening explorer things. And one more thing about having a hard copy of a book is, like, growing up, I used to go outside a lot, and I would take my chess books with me and sit, outside in the sun at a table with my chessboard, and I would just learn openings and study. And so that would have been harder to do with a computer. And so that's one thing I like. Also, if you're going to be playing in over-the-board tournaments, so not just online, it's a good idea to actually look through some lines on an actual board. I think most people would say that there's just a little bit of a difference in how it looks. So when you look at a board on a computer screen and when you look at an actual board. And so it's a good idea to practice some of your openings on an actual board if you're going to be playing in tournaments. Otherwise, it could be a little confusing when you go from just a computer screen to playing over the board. Now, one thing that I do want to point out that's different about the book is that you will need to at least have a basic idea of chess notation. So when I'm going through this opening explorer, even if I don't know what knight c3 means, I can just click it and see, oh, that's knight c3. Okay, e6. I don't know what e6 means. I can click it and, oh, that's e6. So that's one advantage. If you have no idea what notation is, the opening explorer would be a better choice in that case. That being said, if you're seriously considering like buying an opening book to study and improve your openings, you're gonna want to learn notation very quickly, and it's really not hard, right? Like capital B is for bishop, capital N is for knight, capital Q is for queen. You get the idea. Rook is R, K is king, and then the pawns don't have one, and then you just look at the letters and the numbers, and whatever square it is, that's what it moves to. Like, it's really not that bad. So if you haven't learned that, I would definitely say try to do that as soon as you can. It's going to go a long way in your chess career. All right, so to kind of summarize, if you're just starting out, or even if you're a little higher rated, like I said, I think anyone under 1800 was going to get a ton of benefit out of a book like FCO. There are some other ones, but in my experience, FCO does a great job of keeping it simple enough that it's not overwhelming, but also detailed enough that you know what's going on with whatever opening you're looking up. Like, it covers pretty much everything, and so that's what I really like about it. It's a really good balance, which not a lot of books have. And I mean, I'm 2200, and I just looked at it the other day for the Alechine's defense. I was curious about a line, and I was able to open it up, go to the section, and read about it. And so even at my level, I still get some benefit from it. So like I said, I'll put a link in the description below. If you're interested, you can get it there. Yes, it's an affiliate link, so I will get a small amount. So if you don't want me to get any money, don't use the link. Go find it yourself. But for everyone else, you can use the link down there. If you have questions or want to know anything that I didn't cover in this video, or you think I left something important out, put it in the comments below. Let me know that. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. Stay sharp, play smart, and take care.